What if your healing isn't waiting for one more breakthrough, but for one different choice? What if the reason you feel stuck isn't because you don't understand your patterns, but because you keep rehearsing them? Hmm. What if the story that you keep repeating is the very thing keeping you loyal to the version of you say you're ready to outgrow? Welcome to your cup of awakening, your small, powerful sips of truth, the kind that shifts everything in real time. So grab your cafecito and let's slow this moment down. We've been taught to ask, why do I do this? Why does this keep happening to me? Why am I like this? Why am I broken? Why are they like this? And listen, those questions aren't wrong. But if you stay there too long, you stay inside the problem. Because at some point, understanding the pattern can become another way of protecting it. At some point, why becomes a hiding place. And at some point, retelling the story stops being healing. It starts being rehearsal. That was me. I kept focusing on all the ways I wasn't showing up, all the ways I thought I was broken, all the ways that life had hurt me, all the way other people failed me, disappointed me. And yes, those things mattered. They shaped me. And yes, they hurt. But the more I focused on them, the more I kept finding proof for why I was not enough, why I was behind, why I was wounded, why I was always going to struggle. And I didn't realize it then, but I was starving the very parts of me that were already loving, already powerful, already generous, already whole. Yeah, your mind works like a filter. What you focus on, you start organizing your life around. If you keep asking, what's wrong with me? Your mind will answer, let me show you. If you keep asking, what's wrong with them? Your mind will answer, yeah, let me show you. If you keep expecting disappointment, you will scan for it. If you keep expecting betrayal, you will brace for it. If you keep expecting people to let you down, you will notice every moment that confirms it. So just notice. Are you addicted to worry? Are you addicted to complaining? Are you addicted to retelling the same pain because at least it feels familiar? Are you addicted to proving why your life is hard? Maybe are you addicted to being right about what's for not working in your life? Because you will always find evidence for whatever you have decided to believe. Whether you think you can or you cannot, you're right. Whether you think they'll disappoint you or surprise you, guess what? You're right. And whether you think you're healing or you're doomed to repeat it forever, you're right. So the real question is not what's true or why is this happening to me? The real question is what truth are you feeding? Yeah, and this gets real in relationships. Because if you keep looking at someone through the lens of their smallness, their selfishness, their inconsideration, their struggles, you're going to keep finding the proof. Not because that's all they are, but because that's all you're actually available to see. And that includes our children. Are you holding them small? Are you bracing for their attitude? Are you expecting disrespect? Are you subconsciously calling forward the very version of them you say you don't want anymore? Question alone is a portal. Because the moment you ask it honestly, you take your power back. You take your power back in that moment. Truth is, you cannot call someone into their greatness while you're secretly rehearsing their smallness. And you cannot become your next self while staying loyal to your old story. And this is why boundaries as love matters so deeply. Because boundaries are not just what you allow from other people. Boundaries are what you allow to live unchecked in your mind. Boundaries are saying, I will not keep feeding thoughts that disconnect me from my peace, from my sovereignty. I will not keep worshiping the version of the story that keeps me small. I will not keep holding myself hostage to the past identity I no longer am willing to choose. That is what boundaries as love looks like in your life. It looks like protecting your peace. It looks like interrupting the spiral. It looks like noticing the story before it actually becomes your reality again and again and again and again. And yes, the truth is life holds both beauty and pain, fear and love, scarcity and possibility, struggle and grace. So the question is, which one are you feeding? What are you rehearsing? What story are you strengthening? What are you expecting? And are you choosing from the version of you that you are becoming, or the version of you that learned to survive by abandoning yourself and staying small, dimming your light, people pleasing? Here are a few questions I want you to sit with. Ask yourself, where are you still telling the same story and calling it truth? Where are you holding yourself small? Where are you holding someone else that you love small? What thought pattern do you keep repeating that is no longer serving the life you say that you want? What are you actually available for now? Peace, joy, grace, beauty, possibility, sovereignty? And what would shift if you actually started looking for evidence of that instead? So, what is one small choice, one small little choice that you can make today from love, compassion, from understanding, from the better than version of you instead of the old pattern? Just try it on for a week. Try it on for 2 weeks. Try it on for a couple days if it feels like a week or two is too long. But choose the better serving story. Choose better serving story, not the fake story, not the bypassing story, not the better serving story, the one that actually makes room for truth and possibility. The one that says, yeah, this happened, and I do not have to keep becoming it. The one that says, yeah, I've been this version of me for so long, and I'm not required to keep rehearsing her anymore. You can look for the beauty now. You can look for progress, not the perfection. And you can hold yourself and others high now. And if this feels familiar, if you feel like maybe you've heard this before, good. I'm glad. I'm grateful for that actually. Because sometimes repetition isn't redundancy. Sometimes repetition is revelation. Because sometimes your soul keeps bringing you the same message because there is something here. It is trying to get you to finally choose. So notice what you're feeding. Just notice. Notice what you're rehearsing. Notice what you keep proving true. And then ask yourself, what would love choose here? What would sovereignty choose here? What would peace choose in this moment? What would that version of you choose that you're becoming? What would the version of you choose that you're becoming? Because this is what boundaries as love looks like in your life. It's not just saying no to other people, but actually saying no to the thoughts, the patterns, the stories, the rehearsals that keep pulling you away from your truth, from your power, from your joy, from your peace and sovereignty and connection and even love. You don't have to get it perfect. Let me say that again. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to notice. Pause and notice, and then choose again. I am Margarita Rose, and this was your cup of awakening, sisters. Sip it slowly. Until next time, I'll see you in the same Spark channel. Be well, my friends.